Okay, so wait, let me remove this part. Okay, so hello again, guys. So it's been a while, it's been like 2 weeks since my last stream. So there's a lot going on that makes me stop streaming. But yeah, I'm trying to go back into more streaming and more content, and I hope I could stream more than I used to do, like every week. Okay, so today I'm going to learn NoSQL injection. Before I start doing my SQL injection, my plan was to start with NoSQL. This seems like a reverse path, but yeah, it's okay. I'm just a bit curious about the NoSQL, and it's the path has a small number of rules, so let's start. Let's view the paths, and every time I do this, I always see how many laps do I have to do. Oh, there's so much laps. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's not so bad. Oh yeah, I forgot to wait. Let me pause a bit. Okay, so I feel like the song is too high. Okay, so I'm going to take my notes in a separate monitor, so I won't show you guys my notes, but I'll try to explain the contents of the path as best to my understanding. So let me set up first. No SQL injection. Okay, so let's start with the first room. Let's get started. Oh no, I forgot to log in. Wait, let me log in. I need to pause my stream again because I don't want to show you guys. Okay, so I'm back again. Okay, let's start now. For real. Sorry for the pause. Okay, so let's start with the types of NoSQL injection. There are two different types of NoSQL injections. The first one is syntax injection. This occurs when you can break the NoSQL query syntax, enabling you to inject your own payload. The methodology is similar to that used in SQL injection. However, the nature of the attack varies significantly, as NoSQL databases use a range of query languages, types of query syntax, and different data structures. Interesting. And operator injection. This occurs when you can use NoSQL query operators to manipulate queries. In this topic, we will look at how to test for NoSQL vulnerabilities in general, then focus on exploiting vulnerabilities in the MongoDB, which is the most popular NoSQL database. We have also provided some labs so you can practice what you have learned. So, okay, so there are two types of NoSQL injections. Syntax injection and also operator injection. This will become interesting. So first, syntax injection. You can potentially detect NoSQL injection vulnerabilities by attempting to break the query syntax. To do this systematically, test each input by something fast strings and special characters that trigger a database error or some other detectable behavior if they are not adequately sanitized or filtered by the application. If you know the API language of the target database, use special character and fast strings that are relevant to that language. Otherwise, use a variety of fast strings to target multiple API languages. What does this mean? So let's see. Okay, detecting syntax injection in MongoDB. Consider a shopping application that displays products in different categories. When the user selects the fizzy drinks category, their browser requests the following URL. Okay, category fizzy. This causes the application to send a JSON query to retrieve relevant products from the product collection in the MongoDB database. Okay, so this is similar like accessing a class, right? This category fizzy. To test where the input may be vulnerable, submit a fast string in the value of the category parameter. An example string for MongoDB is what? Use this fast string to construct the following attack. What? Huh? Okay, let's view. Let's check CyberChef. Or is it this payload but just URL encoded? Let's see. Nothing wrong from checking URL decode. Yeah, it's basically that payload but URL encoded. This causes a change from the original response. This may indicate that the user input isn't filtered or sanitized correctly. So this is like the, what do you call it? I forgot what is it called. So basically we will test every bit of the special characters, and if one of them works, the original response will change. So we will know that there's one character or more that is not filtered and is used incorrectly by the server. Yeah, if this causes a change from the original response, yeah, this is the important part. This may indicate the user input is unfiltered or sanitized correctly. Yes, so let me copy that. And copy the URL encoded one. Okay, that's interesting. NoSQL injection vulnerabilities can occur in a variety of contexts, and you need to adapt your fast strings accordingly. Otherwise, you may simply trigger validation errors that mean the application never executes your query. Ooh. In this example, we're injecting the fast string via the URL, so the string is URL encoded. In some applications, you may need to inject your payload via a JSON property. In this case, JSON property instead. In this case, this payload will become what? What is that? What is /r? What is this? Escape. Okay, I don't understand the payload, but okay. Let's ask the AI. Oh, it closes, then opens another. It'll make an error, right? Okay, so I'll set this JSON. Okay, let's continue. So let's save that. Okay, let's continue for real. Determining which characters are processed. To determine which characters are interpreted as syntax by the application, you can inject individual characters. For example, you could submit this thing, I don't know what it's called in English, which results in the following the MongoDB query. This causes a change from the original response. This may indicate that this character has broken the query syntax and caused a syntax error. You can confirm this by submitting a valid query string in the input, for example, by escaping the quote. If this doesn't cause a syntax error, this may mean that the application is vulnerable to an injection attack. Yeah, it's basically like simplest injection, right? Like if we use double quotes, then if we put another double quote, if the application doesn't encode or decode our payload properly, then yeah, it breaks the syntax. Nice. Okay. Confirming conditional behavior. After detecting a vulnerability, the next step is to determine whether you can influence Boolean conditions using NoSQL syntax. To test this, send the two requests with a false condition and true condition. For example, you could use the conditional statements n0 and x. Ooh. If the application behaves differently, this suggests that the false condition impacts the query logic. But the true condition doesn't. This indicates that the injecting style of the syntax impacts a server-side query. Yeah, because if it's false, if one of them is false because we are using and, then the syntax will just stop. Nice. Okay, so let's save this. It's probably gonna be useful for the lab, so what thing to say? It's okay. And this is the URL included one. Okay, that's too long. I'll just take this part. Okay, so yeah, and +1. If the application be yeah. Did I already read that? I don't know. But it's not that important, so let's continue. Overwriting existing conditions. Now that you have identified that you can influence Boolean conditions, you can attempt to override existing conditions to exploit the vulnerability. For example, you can inject a JavaScript condition that is always evaluates to true, such as or 1 equals to 1. If this results in the following MongoDB query, as you inject an also it will show all of them, right? The modified query returns all items, yeah, because everything is true. This enables you to view all products in any category, including hidden and or unknown categories. Yeah, it's basically the same. Included, but it depends on the type of special character that we use. So let's continue. Overriding existing conditions. Continued. You could also add a null character after the category value. MongoDB may ignore all characters after a null character. This means that any additional conditions from the MongoDB query are ignored. For example, the query may have an additional this release section. Oh, so we can ignore the release, so we can show everything that is released. Oh, we could add a null by... Yeah, it's similar to like the comment in your typical SQL injection. What is this? Am I lagging? Hello, hello. Hello. Test, test. 1, 2, 3. Am I lagging? Wait. Okay, so I feel like it's safe. So let's just continue. I'm sorry if I'm lagging. I don't know. Okay, so this is our first lab. The product category filter for this tab is stored powered by a MongoDB NoSQL database. It is vulnerable to a NoSQL injection. To solve the lab, perform a NoSQL injection attack that causes the application to display unreleased products. So let's access the lab. What? Okay, so for the first time, it's not lagging. Okay, so it's nice. So let's check if it's using a URL or a JSON. Okay, so it's using URL. Or if we put gifts, then let's start from the very basic. The payload to test if our payloads are being filtered correctly. So let's check. Okay, so it we cause an error, so we know that we can exploit it, but which is the vulnerable one? So let's start one by one. That's the single bracket. Oh, it's the single bracket, right? So let's try set. Yeah, it works. So the ones that is broken is the single bracket. So okay, so what if we give it a null byte? What happens? So so all because it still uses the give, so we can give a r, the number 1 is equal to number 1 as well. Yeah, and all of the unreleased products is also shown. The reason is why we need to give that or statement, because this part only gives us the gifts. We are only limited to the products that is in the gifts category. Yeah, so let's continue. Let's solve that challenge. Let's refresh. Nice, that's fun. So that was the syntax injection. So let me syntax injection. Operator NoSQL operator injection. NoSQL databases often use query operators which provide ways to specify conditions that data must meet to be included in every result. Examples of MongoDB query operators include where, JavaScript expression, and not equal. Oh, okay. In is in the specified array, and regex. Okay, so we need to use regex to find the products. You may be able to inject query operators to manipulate NoSQL queries. To do this systematically, submit different operators into a range of user inputs, then review the responses for error messages or other changes. So let's copy all of this. Sounds already sounds interesting, not gonna lie. Let's continue. In JSON messages, you can insert query operators as nested objects. For example, becomes username. Oh, okay, so it's similar to how protopollution works, right? Bit similar, but this time we can provide the object. Yeah, we can provide the object instead of accessing the proto. We are giving the server an object that is a not equal invalid. For URL-based input, you can insert query operators via URL parameters. For example, becomes URL. Yeah, it's actually very similar to how protopollution payloads do work in the protopollution section. If this doesn't work, you can try the following. Okay, convert the request method from get to post, change the content type to application JSON, add JSON to the message body, inject query operators in JSON. Okay, so let's copy that. You can use content time converter extension to automatically convert the request and change the URL encoded post request to JSON. I don't think I have that extension, so let's just do it manually. Detecting operator injection in MongoDB. Consider a vulnerable application that accepts a username and password in the body of a post request. Test each input with a range of operators. For example, to test whether the username input processes the query operator, you could try the following injection. So we will provide a not equal invalid in the username, and also if the not equal operator is applied in this queries all users where the username is not equal to invalid. If both the username and password inputs the operator, it may be possible to bypass authentication using the following payload. Because none of them are invalid, so it's always valid. Yeah. This query returns all login credentials where both the username and password are not equal to invalid. As a result, you're logged into the application as the first user in the collection, and this is probably the administrator account, right? To target an account, you can construct a payload that includes known username or a username you have guessed. For example, because they're similar like the in SQL, right? Where you can do like in, if I'm not wrong, it's like this, admin or aurik. If one of this is available in the database, it will become true. Yeah, and we will select that data. Probably interesting. So let's save this to payloads. Also this one. What? Okay, I need to copy it again. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's continue. Is it another lab? Yeah, it's another lab. So the login functionality for this lab is powered by a MongoDB NoSQL database. It is vulnerable to NoSQL injection using MongoDB operators. To solve the lab, log into the application as administrator user. You can log in into your account using the following credentials. Administrator. Okay. So this time we need to open our website probably because I want to intercept the login request to see how it works. Probably a JSON data is post. So yeah, let's wait for it. Okay. What? Stuck? Oh no. Why is it taking so long? Okay, so let's open the browser. Okay, so let's access the lab first to load the website. And we'll get the domain and put it to the Chromium. Okay, it's taking a while as well. So let's just chill. Okay, never mind. We can't chill, bro. Yeah. So let's first log into our account. Winner Peter. Winner and Peter. And also intercept the login request. Storing using a REST API to the login API. Yeah. Can send this to the repeater and let it go. Send. Let's check the response. Yeah, it works. Let's give it a bad username. Yeah, invalid. So yeah, we can confirm if our login request is bypassed by the HTTP. I don't know what it's called. HTTP. Yeah, it's the number of the HTTP response. I forgot what it's called. So what if instead of the username we give it a something that is not equal to invalid. Wait, no, it's wrong because it's a JSON data, right? What happens if we give this send? Found. So what if we put it if the account is in? So it will find the username that is not invalid and the password is Peter. So that's why we are still getting the account winner. So what if it's in? Let's give it a an array. Yeah. Press admin. So if we give it a winner, then we will still get the winner account. But let's, for the sake of trying, administrator, then we will get the winner account, right? Yeah. If we remove this, we will get an error like invalid credentials because the password is still the Peter. Yeah. But if we change the password to give us the not equal to invalid, this will give us the admin account. If it's vulnerable, no. What if not equal to That's interesting. If the admin account a different name, no. What about the super admin one? Super admin. Doesn't work. So why is wrong? Okay, let's check the paths from before to understand more. So it's not equal and valid, right? So let's try the not equal again. What does this give us? Okay. Valid. Valid. Internal server error. What if we put the username to administrator and the password is invalid? It's not invalid. Why is it not working though? Is it because the password has a different type of function? I don't think there is another one. This is a bit weird. Let's check the other parts. So it's still application JSON. I don't understand what's wrong with this part. So let's try to copy it. It's probably the same, right? Yeah, it's the same. So why doesn't it work? I don't understand why it doesn't work, so let's just view the solution. Oh, what? So we need to use regex? Okay, that is new. So we can provide regex in a string. Winner. Okay, so the bypass and the password works, but so the challenge is a bit weird because it's telling us to get the administrator user, but didn't tell us that the administrator account has a different name. Wow, okay bro, that's a bit weird. So we can do this to set everything that has the admin account and get the admin account. See, the admin account has a weird name. That's so weird, man. So the in actually works, but I just didn't know that. I thought that the challenge will give us the administrator name, but instead it gives us a random admin account. So this should actually works if we know the admin account. Yeah, bro. So let's, where is it? Request in browser, current browser session, copy. Repeat the request. Yeah, and we have solved the challenge, but it's a bit annoying to know that I didn't solve the challenge because I expected the room to use the name that we were given. Yeah, it's a bit annoying, but yeah, we have solved the challenge by the solution. Yeah, let's just continue and move on. Okay, so we need to, okay, we are learning about exploiting syntax injection to extract data in many NoSQL databases. Some query operators or functions can run limited JavaScript code, such as MongoDB where operator and MapReduce function. This means that if a formable application uses these operators or functions, the database may evaluate the JavaScript as part of the query. You may therefore be able to use JavaScript functions to extract the data from the database. Okay. Copy that. Let's continue. Explore creating data in the MongoDB. Consider a formable application that allows users to look up other registered usernames and displays their role. This triggers a request to the URL. Lookup username admin. So it's like a search function, yeah. This results in the following NoSQL query of the user's collection, where the username is admin, and the query uses where operator. You can attempt to inject JavaScript functions into this query so that it returns sensitive data. For example, you could send the following payload and this password. Oh, because if we are checking if the username is the admin, and if the first character of the password is A, and if it's not, then this will run, and this is always false. You can also use the JavaScript match function to extract information. For example, the following payload enables you to identify whether the password contains digits. Okay, so this is a bit interesting. Let's save this. Okay, so let's continue. Identifying field names. Because MongoDB handles semi-structured data that doesn't require a fixed schema, you may need to identify valid fields in the collection before you can extract data using JavaScript injection. For example, to identify whether the MongoDB database contains a password field, you could submit the following payload. If the password field exists, you'd expect the response to be identical to the response or exempting the name by different the response. Oh yeah, because it's checking if the username is not this. Interesting. Because if the thing exists, then it will show, but if the thing doesn't exist, then it will give an error. Okay. What? Okay, so let's continue. If you want to test different field names, you can perform a dictionary attack by using a word list to cycle through different potential field names. Okay, so I feel like this needs a bit of scripting. So yeah, let's try to solve this. And hopefully we don't need to use the solution to solve this challenge. But let me set up something a bit. Wait. Okay, so I set up the fast food. So let's try to access the set first. Are we given an account? Okay, we have the account winner Peter. So let's first view what we are given. Oops. Wait, never mind. Let's first log into our account. Winner Peter. So where could the injection be? Let's see. Is it in the login or in the my account? Because this, or is it in the, but I don't feel like we need to access another database. So I feel like this is the main part or the login feature. So let's first try in the login feature. Okay, let's boot up our burp. Wait, where is our burp? Okay, I'm a bit stupid, not gonna lie. So let's wait, what did I do? Okay, let's remove the alt one. Let's log in with a random credential. Login, put this into a repeater, and hopefully starts using a username. Let's check the second part. Winner Peter. Let's see. Okay, so this is the one of the main parts. So let's see. Where's the response? Interesting. So let's try the payload from before. Let's check the R. So can we spam this? Okay, so it needs a CSRF token. What about this one? This one doesn't. So I feel like this is the part where that's runnable. Why would give it a application JSON? Where's the content type? There's no content type. So let's create a content type. Application JSON and provide a JSON data. Admin. What happens? Is it this part though? I'm not sure. What happens if I change it to pause? Wait, never mind. I don't think we even need to change the URL into JSON. We can try here, and let's give it a tag. What happens? Let's follow the redirection. Is it into our login page again? Yeah. What if instead of that, can give it a n this dot username not equal to this? Yeah. Nope. Interesting. Wait, what? This should be true, right? Is it not here? Is it really in the login request? But the login request has a CSRF one. For real? Or am I just stupid? What? Okay, that's weird. So it doesn't work like that. This is a bit confusing. Is it really not in the this part? Or maybe it uses this. Okay, let's first try the one from before. If it gives us an error, then we know. Okay, so it doesn't work. What if a tick? Double tick, man. Double tick, and this dot username is not this. What happens? It doesn't work. What if we give it a this tag? I don't know what it's called. Okay, it doesn't work. I'm a bit confused now because I expect this part to be the one that is vulnerable. server chef. Okay, wait. What if the username? But I feel like that is the username. Let's see the tip. The password only uses lowercase letters. So I'm a bit confused on how to enumerate the challenge, so let's see the solution. What? Okay, I didn't check the HTTP history. What? So there's a lookup? Weird. Oh yeah, what? What? Okay, so this is very weird because yeah, unexpected again. Okay, so let's solve it ourselves now. Okay, so what if we give it a tick? What happens? Okay, what if tick? Normal tick. And then okay, so if we give it a tick and percent, probably we'll find winner. Yeah, so it works now. That's what if we give it admin? Wait, let's remove this part. Administrator. Okay, so we know that the password uses. Wait, let me. What if we give it a dot and this dot password? Wait, let's match. Let's do first. So I feel like we need to URL encode this. So the payload that I'm going to use is this one. To view it, that if it has numbers, and it shouldn't have numbers. Wait, I accidentally close the VS Code. It's gone. So it's not true. What happens if we give it this? Oh yeah, it works. Okay, so we know that it doesn't have numbers, so yeah, this will be pretty easy. So the second one I want to check is, let's see this in the URL. Let's open the text edit. HTTPS, the URL, and the endpoint. Yeah, this should work actually. Unauthorized. Oh yeah, because I didn't provide a session. Okay, so let's start solving it. Okay. Okay. Let's first confirm import pass and also give it the URL. Where is it? Okay, let's just take it. HTTPS. I'll just put it on my second monitor so it's easier for me. Administrator. Okay, so let's just first, it's in the second one. This should give it a, and my cookies, we will have a session cookie that contains the session. So let's do a request. Load get to our URL plus, okay, we don't need the plus now. Our cookies calls to the cookies. Okay. The text. Wait, let's give it the string to raw. There was an error getting user credentials. For real, do we need to URL encode our payload as well? Payload. Wait, I don't know how to URL encode in Python. Okay, so let's copy this and code our payload. What happens? Wow. Okay. What happens if we give it? Wait, is it in? Okay, it's not encoded. URL plus payload. What happens? Okay, it works. So let's try this payload. Okay, it works now. So the thing that we need to do is match the password, so we could make like a and this dot password, the first character is equal to a or the character is equal to b. This works, right? This should give an error. Could not find user. Let's try to create the payload into 3 parts. payload 2, payload 3. I don't think the payload 2 needs to be a raw string. Let's just cut this here. Yeah, it should work. Payload 1 plus payload 2 plus quad payload 3. This is probably a bad scripting, so you guys don't even need to feel what I'm doing. Okay, it's safe now. So we know that if it returns the username administrator, it's right, but if it doesn't return the username administrator, then it's wrong. Okay, so we could do like a import string lower, I don't know what it's called, string python library get all lower characters. Okay, let's see. ASCII lowercase. Okay, so instead of the payload 2, we'll change this to payload 2 and create a alpha, let's just call it alpha string ASCII lowercase. Let's check. Yeah, it works. So for I in, let's create a function to get char SQL, let's call it that, where we can give it a index and a yeah, that is it. Then let's do okay, so I need to make it into 3 parts again. Payload 2 and the bottom one is payload 3 equals a raw string and index. So first the URL will be no plus index plus it's probably going to be string to index plus the payload 2 and this will be I plus payload 3. For I and alpha, then it should do, let's comment this part, print n get char SQL, let's get it to 1. Okay, it works. So we can give it this. Now let's see all of the characters. Let's print I, checking I, no checking character. Then let's quote the n. Can remove this part. Quote the n, and this should give us the result. Okay, it's G. So let's stop this. if administrator, wait, let's administrator in the response, then return I. Let's see if this works. It should work. Okay, it's C. Okay, so while true, okay, else return let's return a random character. Let's return 0. Let's return 6, 7. No, let's return 6 only. Well, true, then index equals to 0. Print. With no print, with no new lines. Index increment if okay, so let's put it into a value. Then if it's not the character 6, then we can print the A and remove this. No, actually, if it's that character, then we can exit. Yeah, this should work. Let's try to get the admin password now. Oh, wait. It's wrong. It's wrong. If A, and this should be index. Yeah. Okay, you know what? I think I need to unpack that one. Okay, it works now. Let's clear that. Why is it not printing the characters we are getting? So this is so weird. I don't understand why it's not giving us the character. So let's just print the index. Current index. Why is it stuck at 0? I don't understand why the index is not. Oh, I am so stupid, man. I am very stupid. Okay, bro, I understand why now. Wait, how do I move this part? Nope. Command shift, nope. What if? Nope. Okay, I'll just Control X. Okay, this should work now. Okay, and hopefully we don't need that. Where's the print? Bro. Okay, bro, I quit. Let's just... A is equal to a empty string. Yeah, and just let's print A in the result. Yeah, it's working. Probably. Okay, so what do I do while waiting? I'm not sure on what to do. Wait, what? Is this the end of the password? I just noticed. So let's try to log in. Administrator. Yeah, the reason this breaks because I forgot to put the index here. Index. Okay, so yeah, we have solved the challenge and that was kinda easy. The reason I didn't solve it, like I need to view the solution. The reason is, wait, let me explain myself. So the reason is because I didn't check my HTTP story, so I thought we need to find the endpoints ourselves. Yeah, I was a bit wrong. I didn't check that. When we did a login request, that it made a lookup API. I don't know why it did that, but okay. Or maybe it was when we open our dashboard. I don't know. Okay, so let's see the solution. Oh, so it was also checking the line, the intended one. Oh yeah, I forgot we could do this. Oh, it's using a cluster bomb. But I prefer using Python, so yeah. Refresh to feel that's solved. Okay, I think I need to drink. Okay. Exploiting NoSQL operator injection to extract data. So even if the original query doesn't use any operators that enable you to run arbitrary JavaScript, you may be able to inject one of these operators yourself. You can then use Boolean conditions to determine whether the application executes any JavaScript that we inject via this operator. Interesting. So let's see. Injecting operators in MongoDB. Consider a vulnerable application that accepts username and password in the body of a post request. To test whether you can inject operators, you could adding the where operator as an additional parameter, then send one request where the condition evaluates to false and another that evaluates to true, for example. Oh, so even if the what is it called? The password object doesn't, we can inject another object inside of the password object. We could try to inject it in a separate object. Like, I don't know how to explain it in words, but I hope you guys understand. Instead of putting the object inside of the password object, we put it in a separate place, so it's the same level of with the username and password. So if there is a difference between the responses, this may indicate that the JavaScript expression in the where clause is being evaluated. Yeah. So let's continue. If you have injected an operator that enables you to run Java, okay, let me actually save that. I only need one of this. Just copy the second part. I could just change the character, but I'm lazy. Okay, let's continue. Extracting field names. If you have injected an operator that enables you to run JavaScript, you may be able to use the keys method to extract the name of data fields. For example, you could submit the following payload: object keys. This match, what does this do? This inspects the first data field in the user object and returns the first character of the field name. This enables you to extract the field name character by character. What? Okay, so I'll just skip this in my notes first because I don't really understand, and I hope they give another example. Okay. Alternatively, you may be able to extract data using operators that don't enable you to run JavaScript. For example, you may be able to use the regex operator to extract data character by character. Consider a vulnerable application that accepts a username and password in the body of a post request. For example, username my user and password my pass. You could start by testing whether the regex operator is processed as follows. If the response to the request is different to the one you receive when you submit an incorrect password, this indicates that the following application may be vulnerable. You can use regex operator to extract data by character. For example, the following payload checks whether the password begins with A. Yeah. Interesting. So we could inject the regex. So let's copy this one. Regex. I think I put one before, but yeah. It's okay to save multiple. The user lookup functionality for this sub is powered by MongoDB NoSQL database. It's vulnerable to SQL injection. So let's access the lab first and then put it into our burp Chromium. Close this one, open this one. So we are not given any accounts. Okay. Interesting. Let's first clear our history and try to intercept the login requests. Carlos Montoya, I don't know. Let's intercept. Invalid username or password. You are not given any. Oh, so there's actually no, what is it called, CSRF token, so we could do this multiple times. So the exploit is probably here. So what if we give it a regex? Like this, right? Yeah. So let's put it. Let's try to view the response. Should be false. I feel like this one wouldn't work. Oh, there's a password reset feature. What? Oh, interesting. Let's see what happens if we provided Carlos. Pong ping pong. Hey, I submitted. Okay. So it doesn't work like that. I'm a bit confused now. I think I'm going straight for the tip first. Oh, okay, interesting. Got any HTTP story? Response. Oh wait, but it uses a CSRF token, right? I feel like this won't work. Oh wait, what? Okay, bro. Can I change it to JSON data? What happens if we... Okay, let's change it to JSON. What happens? Does it work? Okay, it doesn't work. But how do we... Can we trigger an error here? Let's try. No. I'm a bit confused now, so I think I'm going to the solution again. Invalid. Okay, so it works. Okay, so let's try. Internal server error. Is it? Do we need to give it a string? Invalid username or password. 1. Records. Yeah. Oh, okay, so we can find. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, okay, so this is very interesting. Send this to the intruder. Cluster bomb. Let's use this one. first payload should be the number, right? So I feel like we need to use Python for this one. So let's just solve it using Python now. So let's create another solver. Brute force. What do we call this one? Brute force password. Let's create a solve by class dot import. Okay, so interesting. We can put the first character here. This is the num. We can't do that. How do we start this? Let's print a JSON. Yeah, it works. What if we do like okay, so we can import JSON.loads JSONs. Doesn't work like that. Okay, so we could put a number here. Let's give it a let's set it to 0 first, equal to 0, and let's match the 0. It started from 0, right? Okay, it's okay, I start from 1. Okay, I want to ask AI on how does this work. Let's ask ChatGPT. Oh, okay, the first character contains that. Oh yeah, it's checking if the first character, but it doesn't have to be that regex, right? We could just change it to like, if it matches like A, if it's correct, then we can like append the second one. But I don't know why it does this. Let's just continue with it. For I in range 20, let's just change the let's put it into a def. Wait, first let's check if this works. JSON.loads. Okay, it works. So we have the JSON data, so I can try to upload it. Not upload it, I mean do a post request to this part, which is the login that I put it. Yeah, login. Okay, what if we do a request.post, the URL JSON equals to the JSON data. It's right? JSON data in Python request. Okay, it's correct. Can put the JSONs. Do I need to do a JSON.loads? Sure, right? Okay, we actually need to. So let's get the text. Wait, there's no. Oh, invalid username and password. Let's try what should we call it? Try char. Okay, let's try it. So let's put it here. And we should probably like use beautiful soup, but let's just not. If invalid username in print yes, else print no. So we could give it a number and also a character. Okay, let's change the name. It's a bit bad. Number, character, def. Okay, that's for I in range 20. string. Let's create the alphabet. Alpha string dot sc lowercase plus string dot sc uppercase plus string dot numbers, right? Let's print the alpha first. Oh yeah, I forgot to string dot number maybe. Okay, let's view or digits, maybe digits. Is it correct? Okay, it's correct. What if we give it print on num on char. For j in alpha, then we can do a def, and no, we can do a try char, which is in the I and j, and let's try. Yeah, let's just try it first. I want to go to the toilet, so I'll just pause the stream. Okay, so I'm back. Let's see the progress. Is there a no? I don't think there's a no character. Oh wait, you. Okay, so it actually works. So we have found that we could, then can just do like, how should we do it? Let's return a special character, or return char. Let's return the char. Okay, so let's put it in the, if a is equal to the sign, then else. Let's create temporary. Let's remove the A, then let's break and continue to the next character, and probably yeah, this should work. So let's print the progress tab. Okay, so actually let's remove this. Print getting first char. Okay, so let's see if we can get the progress. Oh, I actually should print the result here, but yeah. U and this is a bit bad because after I get the last character, I don't have a logic to stop the progress, but yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Yeah, we can get the username. This is probably the username. And if we change the thing to password, wait, let's change. Where is it? I don't even think we need to make this range. We can just do this. Wait, never mind, we actually need it. Oh yeah, we can change this part to get the other one. Then they should get us the password. Yeah, password. What if we got the third one? Is this the OTP? Or the email maybe, or something, I don't know. It's probably the email. Let's get the fourth one. Yeah, it's the email. Here. What? So it doesn't have. It stops at email. So what's the point though? Let's check. It's on the login, right? Maybe it's the part on the email. Never mind, doesn't work. I don't understand what's wrong. Can I make it into a array? Internal server. Never mind. You have to make it. Does this work? Okay, so it's not like SQL, right? Okay, this is a bit annoying. Oops. How do we do this? I don't understand this part, so let's see the community solutions.
We found the length is 11, so now I'm going under than 14, and but you can, there we go. Now let me clear. Now let me select the one value. Now I'm going to replace this length with a order, and let's now you and ham. Let me close this and again. Let me start the attack again.
What?
And let me move.
Why am I getting email and he is getting unlocked? show the 0 first. Yeah, it's getting ID, right? ID, username, password. So this should give us the unlock. Why is it giving us email? That's weird.
Forward to the attack.
Am I attacking the wrong? Not attacking the wrong one, right? No, it's the correct one. What? I don't understand what went wrong with my payload. My cook chat.
So let me put you now. Now I'm going to add so definitely the and here we go. Now you can see we have internal server our target. So let me see if there is the fourth one, and let me just put a random character. The second one is username, and the third expression or function. Copy it and let me paste it in here and let me test. And here we go. Now you can see we find the account log, which is mean correct. So the first field in here is -id. So let me verify if the second one is username and the third one is password. So let me say the value of 1. So let me make it more bigger so you can see. And here we go. Now let me access to the next one, and in here we have the username.
R re Oh, okay, so I understand now. The reason is why I'm not getting the fourth one is the reset token is like linked to an account, right? And I was getting lots of account without, because I was not checking, because I wasn't taking the Carlos account. I was taking all of the account, and not all of them have the reset token. So yeah, it's, oh no, it's my fault. I was so overthinking, man. Okay, so yeah, we have found the reset token. Yeah, this should also work, right? Oh, so we need to guess. Yeah, we need to guess a bit. But yeah, this should work. We found the reset token. So let's comment this. Let's to get reset token. Let's just copy this to get the token value. Hmm. Oh, yes, object. It should be this. Yeah. Because you already know that it's here, so you don't even need the object. we know that the Carlos has the there's a token attribute, so we could just go straight to the match. Wait, what? Oh, okay, my bad. I forgot to... Wait, how can I move this one? Nope. What is the control? I don't know, let's just control X and control V, command V. Does this work? Hopefully. I'm not sure if this will work or not. I hope so. Eight. Okay. Let's just wait. I'm hoping it isn't broken because it took the last number, the last character from the Let's save the video.
Anyway, so let me set all the characters in my. And here we go. Now you can see the first value is U. So let me put U now. Let me close this one. I don't let. And here we go. Now we the previous. Now let me select the A and let's click Add to continue. And it guys that I want to show it.
892. Okay, so it's working. Thank God. I thought it was not working because of the 9. But yeah, it's working, so we can just wait until we get the full character and we can do the reset. So basically in this challenge you have to kinda guess because it's a bit weird. It's not weird in this part. So basically what this does is we can check if the object using the keys that this is this, so we can check the keys if it matches if any of one of these regex. So dot means one character, so any character will do. So we will start on 0. This curly brackets means like how many characters. So if we give it the character 1.0, then it's basically nothing. But if it 1, then it means one character, any one character, any one. So 2, any 2 characters. So A is true, A1 is true, and any random character is true. So we are just guessing on the index. So if we are giving it 1, then A, then we're checking if the first character is A. If we are give it 1, then it's dot A. If we are checking after the first character, is it A? Yeah, it's basically like that. So we can like increment the number and just use like an alphabet or a character list to brute force the second character. So if it's true, then we get the character. That's it. And the second part, we are checking if the token, our token, in the current object matches the regex. Yeah, it's basically the same. So now we are taking, imagine if the token is like ABCD, no, auric. This is the token, okay? So if we check the token matches the regex, we can check it first by doing, we can make it 0, then A. This will become true because the first token is A. So after that, we can return the character. We can put it in the tab. It now contains A. Then we can brute force the second character, A, B, C, D. It will return all false, E, F, G until we get to U. Then we can true. Then we can append the tab and continue it. But the problem right now in my current script, after we get the auric token, I don't have a way to tell that that ended. So in my mind, we can just like, if we are on the last token, on the last character, we can just break if we didn't find anything. But I'm too lazy to create that. Yeah, that's the way we are going to solve this challenge. So if something that I said is wrong, you could correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. And yeah, let's just wait until we solve the challenge. So it seems like using burp suit is faster, but yeah, I wanted to try to script to make my scripting better. Yeah, I know my script is very, very bad, but I'm trying my best, man. Oh yeah, I forgot to check the length. Checking the length could also make it better, but yeah, I'm a bit lazy, so yeah, let's just wait until it repeats 99999, and yeah, we have solved the challenge after that. Let's just try using this first. Maybe it's finished. My account. Wait, I can just do it here. Let's give it the token. So it's still invalid, so I need to get more. It's 12 now. 3. Still invalid. BA. Still invalid. How many characters is it? Bro. I'm hoping it's 15. I mean the characters. Don't clip that, please. Okay, 0. Still invalid. Okay. It's taking so long. Seven, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 7. Okay, yeah, we can change the password to A, and let's log in to Carlos and solve the challenge. Let's go! Finally, Carlos A. Let's go! This is okay. We are getting internal server error because we have the buffer. Okay, so that's nice. Let's refresh to see the solve. Nice. Finally we can continue. So now we are going to learn about timing-based injection. So timing-based injection, sometimes triggering a database error doesn't cause a difference in the application response. In this situation, you may still be able to detect or exploit the vulnerability by using a JavaScript injection to trigger a conditional time delay. To conduct timing-based NoSQL injection, load the page several times to determine a baseline loading time. Insert a timing-based payload into the input. A timing-based payload causes an intentional delay in the response when executed. For example, where sleep 5000 causes an intentional delay of 5 seconds on successful injection. So in this case, instead of us giving it like invalid username, checking for invalid username or internal error, we could just check if the time.sleep. That's what we do in Python. I don't know. So yeah, we only sleep in database. If it sleeps for 5 seconds or 5000 should be 5 seconds. Then we know that after we can find the base delay, like the usual delay in the website. Then if we check after we put the sleep, if it becomes longer, like 5 seconds longer than usual, then we know that it ran. Identify whether the response loads more slowly. This indicates a successful injection. Yeah. The following timing-based payloads will trigger a time delay if the password begins with the letter A. Yeah. Typo. Admin function x if x password. Yeah. Okay, preventing NoSQL injection. The appropriate way to prevent NoSQL injection attacks depends on the specific NoSQL technology in use. As such, we recommend reading the security documentation for your NoSQL database of choice. That said, the following broad guidelines will also help. Sanitize and validate user input using an allow list of accepted characters. Insert user input using parameterized queries instead of concatenating user input directly into the query. To prevent operator injection, apply an allow list of accepted keys. Okay. The parameterized is actually very, very good. Okay, let's copy this and yeah, we have finished. Continue. And we have finished the NoSQL injection. Okay, really thank you guys if you guys are watching. I know nobody watches until the end, but if you are watching, thank you. So that's all for today. See ya. Let me close